Hey, what's up and welcome back to another component showcase. So today I have an item unloader, and what this thing is the first component that is going to be in just about any sort of storage system or sorting system that you might have. This is going to be what you put your items into. This will be like your input chest, and what it's going to do is it's going to split the items out of any shulker boxes that you put in here and make one continuous item stream coming out of this chest down here. So there's two main components to this. There is a shulker box filter, which is this bit over here. You may have seen that from one of my other videos. And then that is integrated with a shulker box unloader on this side that is capable of handling both full and empty shulker boxes, so it's not going to get jammed up by this. And you could make a design that does the same thing, even smaller, but there's a couple nice things about this design. One, it can handle a full double chest of any combination of items without breaking or having any problems. There isn't overflow protection built in, but personally, I've never had to drop off more than a large chest worth of items, so I'll never run into that issue. But it's a good thing to keep in mind. If you do want to add overflow protection, it is possible, and that's one of the reasons I really like this design is all the important bits are easily accessible from the outside, so you can like take outputs from these hoppers here to be able to inform your overflow detection and whatnot. So let's just go through and quickly explain how this works. And then I'll get into a demo and then we'll do a tutorial over there. So hang in there. So first you put your items in here. They flow down through this hopper. The hopper starts a clock back here, which goes kind of like through here like that. And that's going to be a 4 redstone tick clock, which is hopper speed. So what that does is for every item that comes down through here, it attempts to spit it into the shulker box. And every item will be able to be put into the shulker box except other shulker boxes. So that's how we split them out. So the shulker boxes will attempt to be put in here, it'll fail, and then it'll get drawn out by this hopper down below. If it's anything but a shulker box, it will get put into this one here, and it'll get drawn out by this hopper. And this hopper basically just feeds down straight into the output because we don't have to do any processing for that. However, if it is a shulker box, it'll get fed down into this chest, which is a buffer. So if we have all shulker boxes up there, it'll just feed them all into this chest right here, and this will just fill up, and that way we don't have to worry about overflow or anything. So from there, they go into this drop or dispenser right here, and they get dispensed out. There's a little bit of circuit right here that basically detects when something comes in, and it will fire it out there. And you may be saying, oh, there's a more efficient way to do this. I could put just a solid block here. I could put my note block down here, and then I'm cutting out a observer on the bottom, and that's quicker and it's cheaper. But the problem is there's a timing issue with that. So if I do that, it will, under certain circumstances, like I have right here, a setup like this will actually make it fail to dispense the next shulker box once the first one has gone through. So you need the 2 ticks of delay, which is why we have that here. And then on the other side here, I've got a design that has been kind of inspired by numerous people. There's a weighted pressure plate underneath this cart here, and that is how I do the empty box detection here, because right now it's getting this comparator is getting power from the pressure plate because it has an item on it. But as soon as we place an inventory back here, like this will be a shulker box normally, but you can see then it prioritizes to read from the inventory, which makes it turn off. And then when that's gone, it gets the signal back over here. And so when we put a shulker box that has something here, this would normally get powered, but it's already powered, so it doesn't fire this, and that's how we do the empty box detection. So then basically when it empties out, this will change, it'll fire this up, that'll pull this observer back down, which will then have a 2-tick repeater so that this sticky piston pushes out and pulls the observer back up. It doesn't one tick it and just spit it out. And so this goes down, back up, and when it comes back up, it then quasi-powers this dispenser again to dispense the next one. So if we have a bunch waiting in here, it will just dispense them one at a time until there's no more. And of course, then the items are just drawn out through this hopper here into the same output as before. And so that's basically the whole system. We've got, what is it, 6 by 4 by 2. So under 50 blocks, really good. All right, so that brings us over to the demo here. I'm just gonna grab one of these boxes because they're set up. We've got some normal items, some unstackables. We have empty shulker boxes, and then we have shulker boxes with unstackables, normal items in there. So we're just gonna grab one of them, and we can bring it over here. And this is kind of like how your interface will look. It fits perfectly with the ground, so you can have your stuff here, and then you got a wall in the back, and just place your double chest over that. So that'll start processing. We can see we got the clock back here, which is cycling the items through here one at a time. And the normal ones, again, are just passing straight through. And then we've got the shulker boxes, which are coming over here. And we can see this one is unloading. And we can see it reset there. And we'll probably have a few more go through like that. And we can see it's slowly buffering back over here. And you'll notice I have this blue bit on the bottom here. This is, again, one of the reasons I really like this system, is because everything is exposed in just the right place that you can have a bunch of add-ons to it. So this blue section here is actually a unstackable item filter. So you notice on the top we have all the normal items, and then down here we're getting all the unstackable items. So again, this just kind of slides right up on the bottom here. Very simple. This is a horizontal design. Most designs you'll see will be vertical, but since we don't need to tile this, the horizontal one actually takes up less space. So yeah, then we, instead of having our outputs here, this is just acts as another buffer, and then we've got outputs down here. And then those you can feed like the normal items to like your normal sorter, and the unstackables can go to your unstackable sorting system. So very handy. All right, and it should be finishing up pretty soon here. Yep, we're on our last one. We can see it sorted it out, and now it's completely reset, ready for the next input. All right, so that's gonna bring us over to our tutorial. All right, so let's get started and build this out real quick. So come under the left side here and place a hopper, and then we're gonna need a dropper coming out the side into a shulker box, and that's gonna be the beginning of our shulker box sorting system right there. Then we're gonna have 2 hoppers coming out the bottom. This one's gonna be for shulker boxes, and this is normal items. So we're just gonna take the normal items out to the output, because that is quick to do and they don't need any processing. So wow, if I could actually hit that. All right, so that comes down like so, and that is our output chest. And then over here, we're going to take the shulker boxes into a chest like that. And under here, we're going to put a dispenser. This is going to dispense our items out. And then we need a hopper feeding from this into there. And so this is going to be our buffer. And over here, the dispense shulker boxes are going to need to be emptied. So we're going to put a hopper down like that. And then that brings us to our little dispenser rig here. So we're going to have a green block like so. And on top of that, we got to have our weighted pressure plate. So one of these 2 options is what you got to take. Doesn't matter which one, the light or the heavy. I'm just going to use the heavy one because that's what I used before. On top of that, put another block because we have to put the mine cart down here. So we're going to just put a rail. It doesn't matter what rail you use. Put a mine cart on top of it, then you break the rail, break the block, and that's how we get it on top there. And then we're just going to put another block back here, and this is going to be our comparator output from the shulker box. And then coming up from that, we need an observer and then a sticky piston. And then 2 blocks up, we're going to put another observer and that's going to be the one that triggers our braking mechanism. So that feeds into a 2-tick repeater, and then we have another sticky piston facing down over here, and then we need to put an observer on the end of the sticky piston, but it has to be facing the right way, so we have to come to the other side and face it like so. So the face should be looking at you over here. And then that is our braking mechanism right there. So coming over to the other side, we're going to grab a yellow block here and come 2 out like so. And then we're going to need to put some observers in underneath, facing like that, like that, like that, and down. And then we've got a solid block like that. And we have to take our note block, put it right besides there, and a repeater on 1 tick, an observer, and then we'll put a rail up here like so, and we can see that created our clock. Now we need to lock the clock when it's not having any items in it, so we just have a torch there and a comparator up on the top. And then down below we need to have our way to activate this dispenser when it first receives an item. So we're going to come over like that, grab a green block, put it there, and then a comparator like so. All right, and that should be it. Whole circuit's up and working. Let's go grab one of these things just to make sure. We're going to grab that chest with the items in it and plop it in here. Let's see, it's working. Again, this is a mostly silent system. It really only clicks once or twice here and there, and then whenever it's breaking the box, which can't be helped. So very silent, very fast, because it's also draining the items normally through here, as well as emptying the shulker boxes simultaneously. So the speed is between 1 and 2 times hopper speed, depending on how many shulker boxes you have in your original input. So let's actually also add the unstackable filter down here. So we just put one under the green block here, and then we'll fill out 6 blocks like that. And we're going to take a comparator output, 2 redstone, a repeater, another redstone, and a torch. And then this is just going to go into our new outputs down here, which is going to be our normal items here and our unstackables, and we need to take hoppers into those. So now we'll see this chest starts getting sorted out into here. And of course we got to do a bunch of these before we see some unstackables. But yeah. And there we go. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it's been a while, but I should have a bunch of videos coming out soon. So stick around and hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.